Hello children, welcome you all. So far we have learnt about North American continent and it was the first part, and today we are going to learn about the second part of the same chapter. So just recall it whatever you have studied there. Just as usual, we are going to learn the chapter with an introduction activity. Okay, see here I have a question for you. If you have observed my previous chapter, easily you can answer for this. The question is, who discovered the sea route to North American continent? You remember it, right? Yes, it is none other than Amerigo Vespucci, who is here in this small picture. Children, the next question is that what are the physical divisions of North American continent? See, here they are. Shall we begin now? Today we are going to learn about the different parts of North America and what sort of flora and fauna we are going to get in these places. Primarily that we are going to learn today, just like natural vegetation, agriculture, importance of minerals, industries, population growth, distribution and density of the population, all that we are going to learn today. If we come to natural vegetation of North American continent, mainly it is depend on climate, soil and relief features, all that. And due to great diversity in climate relief in North American continent, it has given a wide range of natural vegetation in this continent. Okay, and these natural vegetations are followed by the continental belts. What are the continental belts? That you are going to learn soon. North American natural vegetations are divided into 7 parts. Which are those? The first one is tundra type. Here we can find it. Coniferous forest, temperate mixed type, temperate grassland, tropical rainforest, Mediterranean type and hot semi-desert type. All that we are going to learn here today. So first let's go for tundra type of vegetation. It is mostly found in Arctic Circle. Where is Arctic Circle? Here you can follow the picture. Is it not? See, here in this region always we find cold kind of climate. Always it will be frozen. Is it not, children? Yeah, so because it is at the higher latitudinal place. So what the regions we find here, it will be frozen mostly. Where do we get such kind of vegetation? It is very simple. That is, one is Canada, Alaska and Greenland. If you show it in the map, here is Canada, here is Greenland and here is Alaska. In these places mainly we are going to see tundra kind of vegetation. Okay, so here the winters will be long and summer will be very short. Next, the only vegetation what we find here is, it is very less, that is mostly mosses and lichens. How does the mosses look like? See, this is mosen, then example of mosen, that it is lichens. So that one. So small kind of orchids, that is flowers which are blossom here during summer season. Okay, nice now. The animals what we find here are very less. So mainly herbivorous kind of animals are reindeer and caribou. Such kind of animals we can see. Carnivorous kind of animals are polar bear and Arctic foxes. So such kind of animals we can see abundantly here. How does the caribou look like? See, just like this. The next one is reindeer. See, here are the polar bears. Here you can see the small picture of polar bear. It looks like this and it has a habit of catching fishes which swims against to the stream. Can you see this picture? Okay, this is Arctic fox. How nice, no? See, this kind of vegetation we can find here. See, the trees you can see here, such kind of trees are mostly abundant here. South of tundra belt lies in cool temperate type of climate region, obviously because it comes under cold climate region. So this is actually a belt of coniferous forest. This coniferous forest is normally called as taiga. So have you seen taiga kind of vegetation? If you haven't, you can see in this picture. The trees which you are seeing here are called pine trees. Next, in the coniferous forest only, we are going to get different kind of vegetations, that is different kind of trees. First one is fir, it looks like this. Next one is spruce and third one is birch. Next, the fur-bearing animals found in this region. What is fur-bearing? It is nothing but the thick hair will be there on the body of these animals. So some examples for those are, here you can see lynx, sable, silver fox, etc. The pictures you can see here. Nice pictures, no? Let's go for the next kind of vegetation, that is deciduous type of forest which comes under east and southeast of St. Lawrence River, and it is surrounded at the parts of Great Lakes. You have studied about Great Lakes in the previous chapter. Do you remember that? This is also called as temperate mixed type of forest or vegetation. The northern part are mostly cool. The southern parts will be remains warm all throughout the year. Winter are cold, but summer are warm and rainfall occurs usually in summer. This is the situation what we find in this kind of temperate mixed vegetation. The trees which we find here, that is not a variety of trees we can find here just like in India, but few trees we can see here. The examples for those kind of vegetations are, see here the first one, the cypress, oak, ash and chestnut. Okay, consequently the pictures are. And the wild animals which we find here are, the first one is beaver, black bear, muskrat and porcupine. All that you can see here. Fine. Next, let's move on for the next kind of vegetation, that is temperate grassland kind of vegetation. And in the previous chapter only we have studied vast about this kind of vegetation. This is also popularly known as the prairies, is it not? The entire North American continent is called as the land of prairies, is it not? Okay, that is the importance of this vegetation. Can we have a keen look about this? Yes. The cool temperate climate is found in the parts of North America, that is USA. Okay. So there is a vast grassland between Rocky Mountains and Great River basins. So that Great River mostly consists of Mississippi and Missouri. So this part we call it as prairies. Here in this picture you can see whatever the parts which is shown in the red color, so that part mostly comes under the prairies. Next, this plain land is known for wheat cultivation and animal rearing, as you are seeing in the picture. So this side it is wheat cultivation, that side it is animal rearing. That is, in our nation we are going to tie up the animals and we will leave them for the grazing, right? So here in North American continent it is not like that. In the entire field they will let the animals to move around in that part and they will be grazing all throughout the day. So here is the beautiful picture. Children, just have a look on this picture. It is a beautiful picture. It says about the vast treeless plain. Here mostly we don't see any trees at all. It is called wheat bowl or bread basket of the world, because this part is the highest yielding part in the entire world. Hence it is known as wheat bowl or bread basket of the world. Though it is treeless, somewhere we can find a few trees. Here is the two examples of the trees. The first one is beech, the second one is maple. Number of lakes we can find in Canada. Also here we can find the taiga kind of vegetation. So here the wood grows like anything. The wood is nothing but the trees. So Canadians have a main occupation of cutting the wood and exporting it to the different nation. So here you can see that this kind of timber business is very common in Canada. Canada is the largest exporter of wood in the entire world. See, the southern part of Mexico, here we can see that, and some part of West Indies region, they have tropical forest. The tropical forest is sunshine will be more and rain also will be more here. So this is also known as mixed forest. So here we can see hardwood like this in the picture what I have shown here. Next, west coast of California experience the Mediterranean type of climate. What you are seeing here, it is a kind of Mediterranean climate. The vegetation is tropically adjusted to the long summer dots. So here the rain will be very less. What sort of the trees we are going to find it here? Here it is the cork tree. Have you seen the cork, which is the lid kind of things which has given for the glass bottles, right? So that cork is extracted from this tree only, that is cork. Next is olive. You have seen olive oil, right? So it is extracted from these trees only. The final one is oak, that is big oak trees. We can find it here. This region is also known for citrus fruits, that is prominently these citrus fruits consist here are oranges. Desert condition also we can find it here at the western parts of this continent. South California, Mexico and Arizona, which falls under this kind of desert conditions. So in this desert condition we can see the varieties of cactus or the thorny bushes. Here I have shown some examples of such kind of cactus plants. What you are seeing here is Joshua. So this plant is very famous in this region. The rest of that is cactus and the other families of the cactus plants only. This part of desert is called as winter of desert. Here during the daytime the heavy sunshine, heavy temperature will be, as it night falls the places will be very cold. So only it is known as winter of deserts. Okay children, so far we have learnt about the different vegetations of North America. Now let's move on for agriculture. Agriculture is also a main occupation in North American continent. Are you all ready now? See, here is the agriculture part. Agriculture is very important occupation in North America, as usual in all the other continents. Central lowlands of continents, especially Canada, USA, are very productive agricultural countries. It is none other than the prairies. The land of prairies are very productive in this continent, and only 10% of total area in North American continent is used for agriculture. But you know, they are growing sufficient to their continent and they are exporting it to the other continent or the other countries also. Why is that? The reason are very simple. See, the first one is the large farms are there. Second one is rich soil is there. The third one, adequate irrigation facilities are given here. Next, finally, mechanized farming are followed here. Reason why? Their yield are very higher than any other countries. Other very prominent thing which is responsible for high yield here are the human efforts. So in this North American continent, the special crops are grown in special kind of regions. Those regions we call it as the crop belts. Do you understand? The crop belt. Firstly, we can understand what is wheat belt. You have heard about prairies, right? There they grow more and more wheat, right? So that itself is known as wheat belt. Clear? Okay. Wheat is one of the popular cereal grown in North America, especially Canada and USA. That is, agricultural product which are normally grown in grass kind of plants is known as cereals. Okay. So normally in Canada and USA we can see more amount of wheat grown areas. The prairies region, as I told you earlier, the prairies region provides the best soil for the wheat cultivation. Since the population is low, the population of entire North American continent is very low. Okay. So they are producing surplus amount of agricultural goods and they are exporting it to the different nations, that we also can call it as different continents. Scientific wheat production. Here you can see that, you know, the wheat land is harvested here. Here you can see that there is no man at all. There is a driver in a harvesting kind of machine. Here in a day itself, the acres of land or the kilometers of land will be harvested in a day. Such kind of farming is known as scientific wheat farming. Now we have learnt about wheat. Let's move on for maize. Maize is also known as corn in North American continent. So it is extensively grown in USA, that is United States of America, as well as in Mexico. So most of the maize is used for feed crop. Feed crop is nothing but which is fed to the animals, normally for the cattle and pigs. These animals are raised for meat. Maize is fed to these kind of animals. Maize is staple food grain, that is it is used for consumption purpose also for the human being. But today maize is grown as check crop. check crop is nothing but it is not much important in our day-to-day life, but they are growing it. Now we have learnt about wheat belt, second one is corn belt, third one is cotton and tobacco belt. Cotton and tobacco are grown like cash crops. What are cash crops? This is not for consumption purpose, this is for industrial purpose. The cotton belt lies along the Mississippi Valley, which we have seen in the last part of our class. USA and Mexico are the important producer of long staple cotton. So what we produce in here in India is the small staple. What they are producing is long staple. The yarns will be long. Tobacco grown in the south of USA, Cuba, Jamaica and Mexico. USA ranks second among all the other countries. The tobacco will be grown extensively. The first is China. Children, have you seen the tobacco leaves? See, here it looks like this. Let's go for the sugar bowl of the world. Okay, in India also we have sugar bowl, right? Which part of India is known as sugar bowl? Can you answer me in the comment section? Cuba is the third largest producer of sugar in the world. So, it is popularly known as sugar bowl of the world. Sugar is another important cash crop grown here in this region. So, normally in Cuba, they extract sugar from the sugar cane. But in USA, they have different kind of material to extract the sugar, that is none other than sugar beet. Children, you are very familiar to sugar cane. Have you seen the sugar beet? See, here it is. It looks like this. Okay, shall we move on? So, other popular crops are barley and oats as well as potato. So, barley and oats can grow in cold weather. Wherever the cold regions are there they can grow it. Beer is brewed from the barley. Beer. So, that is not good for health, but they are brewing it. Oats is used for feeding crops for the animals. I have already explained about feeding crops, is it not, children? Potato is also a major food crop of this region. Here you can see potato, the color potatoes they are growing here. Coffee and cocoa are also grown in the tropical plantation crops. These are plantation. Plantation is nothing but such kind of plants only grown. Central America and West Indies are the best example for coffee and cocoa plantations. Next is wine country. Which is wine country? Let's see now. So, the fruits like grapes, orange, lime, apple and pear, peaches, etc. are grown in California, Florida and New Jersey, and which is used to make the wines. So, next, California produces 90% of the wine by using grapes in North America. So, California is a part of North America where grapes are grown, which is used to brew the wine. For this very reason, you know, California is known as wine country. That is, once again, it is harm to the health. No one should consume wine, children. Okay, children, now we have studied about agriculture. Let's just recall the agriculture which we conduct here in India and which they conduct in North American continent. Normally, we can see such kind of scenario in our nation. Is it not? More and more human efforts are made here in our nation. But in America, where we can see the tractors and very modernized machineries are used to grow the food. So only their yield, in other words, their production are very high. Is it not? So it is just an alarm for our nation also. Even we should mechanize our farming techniques, and even we should grow more and more like North American continents. So after learning about vegetation, agriculture, now let's come for the fishing. It is also known as shrimping in these regions. Shallow continental shelves such as Great Banks, George Bank of New England and Newfoundland, these coasts are very popular for fishing purpose. See, here you can see the picture. There two red dots are there, no? These places are well known for fishing purpose. Here also you can see a big boat is there, and fishing is conducted through such kind of boats only. In that boat itself, they will catch the fishes and they will convert it into the marketing good. Okay, so such kind of advanced nation they are. So North American continent is very newly found land. You know that. Okay, recently it was discovered. Obviously here the minerals are more. We have sound resources here. So North America is blessed with abundant resources naturally, and the natural reasons are variety of soil, extensive grassland, minerals, power resources and forest wealth. the continent has rich deposit of different valuable minerals. Which are those? In the entire world is known as gold. Gold is extensive here. When this continent was newly explored, people rushed to this continent only to extract the gold. So you can assume that what is the importance of gold in this continent. Is it not, children? Along with gold, you know, in this continent we can see iron, copper, nickel, silver and zinc. Such kind of minerals also abundant here. And coal and petroleum, natural gases are also abundant. A continent which has all this kind of minerals are definitely, it's a boon to the people. A gold is very first material mined here in this region. Where have they digged it? See here, California and Yukon valleys are very important for gold diggers, that is gold mining. Lake Superior and its surrounding areas are known for large deposits of iron ore. Here you can see that, you know, that is Lake Superior and adjoining places iron ore is more. And high grade of iron ore is found in the Canadian Shield, where the Canada is there, no, the two red dots are there, no, there we can find high grade of iron. Mexico is the world's major producer of silver. Here you can see that. Okay, Mexico produces a highest amount of silver in the world. Next, in the USA, the leading producer of copper is Canada only once again. Where is it? In these places. Fossil fuels are exploited considerably throughout this continent, and North America has the largest deposits of cooking coal in Appalachian region. Where are Appalachian region? See, here it is. Pennsylvania itself produces 20% of world's coal production. In the entire world, if 100% of coal is produced, out of it 20% is produced only here in Pennsylvania. Here you can see that. So obviously USA is the world's largest coal exporter. Is it not, children? Let's come to the natural gas and the places where we find it. Alaska, Texas, Louisiana, Kansas, Western Canada and Mexico. In these places we find oil and natural gases. All these places what we have shown here. Offshore region, it is nothing but not in the mainlands but in the shallow shelves of ocean. There also we can find a good number of natural gas, what we have shown here like this. Again, the USA is the major producer of petroleum. Obviously, no, children. USA is the leading producer of nuclear power in the world. Here they have given a map. There you can see that how many nuclear power reactors are there in their nation. So the next picture is nuclear reactor which is under operation. Among all the other countries, North America, USA, Canada are highly industrialized, obviously, because they are getting more and more minerals, abundant soil, abundant water and abundant things are there here. So naturally the industries will also grow. So availability of raw material like iron, coal, copper, bauxite. So it is boosting the industries here. And not only that, here they get extensive power facilities, extensive transport facilities, as well as the technology what they are using is very much modernized when we compare with the other world. So naturally their nations are highly industrialized. Here we can mention about one city, that is Pittsburgh. So this Pittsburgh is known as the steel city. The steel is produced extensively here. Okay, so the coal deposits are more and as well as iron deposits are more here, and naturally they produce more and more steel here. Where the lake situated like Erie, Superior and Michigan, there we can see more and more iron and steel industry. Naturally, because iron and steel industry, they need more and more water. Raw material or water transport have helped tremendously. About water transport we have learned in the previous chapter. Okay, just recall it. The favorable industrial policy. Here the bureaucracy are helping the industries, hence favorable policies of USA helping the growth of industries. Then iron and steel industry are known as mother industries. Remember it, children. These are the basic industries also. They give boost to many other industries, just like automobiles, shipbuilding, locomotives, heavy engineering and aircraft, as we are seeing all together in this picture. Next, Canada is one of the top exporter of paper, pulp and newsprint. Why is that? Because they are at tundra region. The wood cutting is the main occupation of those people. And after cutting the wood, you know, from this one, here you can see that, see, from the mountain, they are transporting it to the lowlands through water itself. See, the wood, it is floating on the water and it reaches to destiny without consuming any fuel or without harming nature. Easy, no? Lumberjacks. In the previous chapter also we have learnt about them. We can see lumberjacks in Canada. Most of them are living in this place. In the north part of North American continent, we can see such kind of lumberjacks. People who are engaged in cutting the woods, in other words, lumbering, is known as lumberjacks. Okay, so earlier they used to cut without using any modern techniques, but now in today's world, you know, they are highly mechanized. Here you can see the contrast picture of old one and new one. Chicago is very famous for plastic industries. Though we don't want any plastic, but still plastic is a part and parcel of our life. We cannot do anything, is it not, children? Chicago is the main producer of plastic. Chemical industry produces varieties of articles like synthetic rubber, plastic, fertilizers and medicines. All these are very important for human being. We cannot just bypass it. Plastic has now replaced with wood to great extent. In this continent, more and more wood is used rather than plastic today. And in USA, most of the plastic is produced. Electric and electronic goods are produced in large scale in this continent. As well as, you know, meat packing is a very important industry here. Where is it? Chicago, Kansas City and St. Louis are such kind of wheat tins we can see all over the USA. So this is an example for electric and electronic goods which is produced extensively in USA. Not only they produce for their nation, they export it to the other nation too. You know, so far we have learnt about only industrial development and all such. But here in this continent, we have underdeveloped countries also, just like Mexico and adjoining countries. There we can see poverty. You believe it or not, children, this is a picture of some Mexican remote industrial area. There the poverty is more. So here we can see underdeveloped countries also. What is the reason for underdevelopment here in this region? So there is no adequate power, there is no resources and raw materials are very poor in these regions. Hence it is considered as underdeveloped countries. Next, it's very important in this chapter, that is population. Now we are going to learn about population. The population, those who are dwelling today here in this North American continents are mostly Europeans. When it was newly discovered, all the Europeans had came here and they have grabbed the land here. And along with that, we can see some number of American Indians, that is Red Indians, and Africans also here we can see. And most of the people they speak here is English, Spanish and many other languages, and local vernacular also there here. See, here you can see the picture. You can only find it out where the dense population is there. Wherever the industrial developments are there, there we can see the dense population. The pink color what they are showing here is the dense population, and the countries which are underdeveloped also, there we can see overpopulation. Here what they have given in yellow, that is moderate kind of population. What they have given here in this pale pink color, it shows that mostly the frozen regions, and there the population will be so and so only. That is very less population will be there. Nearly 98% of population are urban here. So here if we ask in India, what is the percentage of people who are living in villages? More than 60 to 70%. But here in this America, 98% of people, they are living in North American cities. The city, a modern city, a highly technological advanced city, here you can see that. And also you can spot the population, they are roaming all around here. Is it not, children? Okay. A very densely populated parts of North American continents are industrial regions, as we have discussed already. Here in this Caribbean island, population is less, but density of the population is more. That is nothing but in a small area, more and more people will be dwelling. Okay children, here is the home assignment. Just complete it and give it to your class teacher. Children, here you can see two thematic maps. First one shows about the population settlement. The second one shows about the minerals which are available in this region. So you will have to write a note on a relationship between population and minerals availability in this region. Thank you.